Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 5, episode 20, titled Devils Decision Time, Who Stays, Who Goes? Brought to you by Beer Baron. Beer Baron, the one that thought of that title today. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Shorts Guy and Beer Baron, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network, as Scotty's having some internet issues right now. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the next 32 games, the next 6 months. The Devils, on a break, on hiatus, had back-to-back days of practices. I'm going to shift over to you, Beer Baron, because you thought of this title. What are your thoughts today?
Well, first of all, when you read it, do you get the song in your head? Am I say where am I go? What, you know, like does that song like instantly like pop up in your head?
Should I stay or should I go? Yeah.
Or should I stay or should I go? It's been a long day. I'm very tired. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of speculation this time of year of who's going to go and who's going to stay. There's the obvious ones, you know, PK Subban makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I don't know. There's a couple other little pieces here and there that make sense, but I want to look at a broader scope of guys that you think could possibly be going, because I know you're going to say if it's not named Jack, if it's not named Nico, if it's not named this or that, it's going out the door, and that's probably true or should be true, right? But realistically, who do you think could be moved in the next month and a half or however long it's going to be?
See, that's a tough one because, you know, the deadline is still what, a month away? The trade deadline?
Yeah, 21st of March is the deadline.
Yeah, that's still so it's a good conversation that we're having now. But it's tough to predict exactly who it might be due to the fact that it is so far away and things could shift. A team can go on a run, a team can go on a slide. A player could get hot in the next 30 days we're not expecting. You're right. The standard answer is if it's not, named Jack, Nico, Bratt or Hamilton, pretty much it's potentially on the block, but you also don't want to just have a fire sale and get rid of everyone because we've done that way too often. You want to keep something because we see such sparks of greatness. You think back to the Canadian game. You think back to who else did they drop 7 on right after
St.
that?
Louis.
I can't. It's completely escaping my mind.
St. Louis.
But
The Blues.
The Blues.
Yeah,
That's who it was.
14 goals in 2 days or 2 games.
Yeah, right. And then you think like to the first half of the Lightning game, which was great, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. Mm-hmm. So you've got to see, you got to take a look at exactly what's working and what's not. So there's flashes of brilliance. So you don't want to completely upset the apple cart, but at some point, you want to get something in return as well, because it's not like we want to improve. We don't just want to sell for the sake of selling. Scotty.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
No, you're
sorry,
100%
running
right
a
about that.
little late here on the
you're
old
all
technical difficulties.
I
How we
thought
doing,
internet
everybody?
problems were I thought internet problems
Good,
were only
man.
an East Coast thing. I guess you have internet problems on the West Coast too?
I wish I could
Hey.
go back to East Coast internet. Oh man, my old Verizon Vios over there in Jersey City and Hoboken was like lightning compared to Spectrum out here, and Spectrum has got like the monopoly. Like you have to have
Oh,
Spectrum. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
so
But monopolies monopolies don't exist.
yeah, supposedly, unless you're playing the board game.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I frighten small children. So maybe I don't shower often, or maybe I don't get right into
Use
that
deodorant properly.
And somewhere somebody's going, what the hell? So Scotty, we'll send the question over to you. The obvious answer of like who could possibly stay or could go. An ongoing conversation that I feel like we've been having for the last however long. And the obvious answer is always going to be like, if it's you're not going to trade Jack or Nico or Dougie or even Bratt at this point. Although I might say, hold on with Bratt, because we'll talk about that in a second. But who do you think are the maybe not so obvious answers that could possibly get shipped out? Now, Shorts Guy just brought up a great point. You don't want to rip everything down. Like you do have some really solid pieces that are building. Like you don't want to send Bratt away, right? You don't want to send away a Dawson Mercer or anything like that. But who do you think could be under the radar?
Unless you're getting like Connor McDavid out of the Oilers, 1-for-1 again, Edmonton. Hey, how you feel? We want to go?
Yeah, okay.
David Severson for Connor McDavid. What do you say? Huh? 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dude, if you did that
Hey.
in NHL, your Xbox or PS whatever would just explode. It wouldn't even reject it. It would just explode. But go on.
Well, the rumor, you started hearing, and I know we were talking about it in our group chat about the the Vancouver situation with Brock Besser, possibly being rumored to be on the market, and he is a type of forward that we would like to see with a Nico Hischier or a Jack Hughes. You really think the scoring can increase there with him? Now he's done wonders with who's the new coach over there?
Boudreaux.
Bruce Boudreaux. Right. So he's done wonders now. He's been hot, but he's got a pretty big price tag, and Vancouver doesn't have a lot of cap space. So my whole thing is I'm gonna go like total fan, here with this one. Why not swing for the fences? There seems to be an interest in a Pavel Zacha. Okay, you guys are interested in it. Oh, wonderful. Okay, hey, first round pick. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, but he could be more what they're looking for. We want Zaka to play as a top line winger. He's probably more suited as a third line center. And that's where he would probably pencil in for them, which is what they're kind of looking for. And playing down there in the bottom six, he should be able to take advantage offensively. But either way, I'm saying swing for the fences. Try to get Brock and Quinn in one big swoop. Get Zaka and Severson. Throw in Ty Smith and, probably, the 2023 draft class is supposed to be pretty deep. Maybe you throw that, like, first-round pickup out there and, woo! You get Brock and Quinn. Jack's pretty happy. Luke is scoring end-to-end goals over there in Michigan. The whole Hughes clan is coming to town. That's what we're talking about. We're
breaking records, too.
Oh,
breaking
yeah.
records.
Oh, yeah. We'll get the whole Hughes thing going, But no. I mean, like, you've seen rumors for Besser and Zaka being tied together. I would think you got to throw in some sort of draft pick or something like that as well with Zaka. I don't think they're going to go 1-for-1 on that. Swing for the fences, Fitzy. Get Quinn while you're at it. See if you can work a package deal. But I that really intrigues me, having that sort of superstar-esque type of winger who is not going to do everything on his own. He's going to need someone to set him up. He's not a Crosby or a McDavid or something like that. He needs a centerman, and we have centermen who need wingers, So, and Brock also fits the Tom Fitzgerald. I only want people under 25 years of age on the team, as he's only 24. So, same age as Zaka. We may forget that because we feel like Zaka's been around forever, but he is only 24.
Yeah, it feels like
playing when he was 18. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's like he's been here forever.
Yeah, but it could be one of those change of scenery type of things. That seems to be where like Pavel is destined for. But I'm all about that. That sort of rumor intrigued me mightily because it's what we need is that offense.
Yeah.
And I know Sam Wu would get behind any sort of trade of Damon Severson because that is his best friend. And if it could,
Sam Wu loves him.
Throw Ty in there. Anyone else you want? Go ahead. Just send us Quinn back.
And
yeah,
here we are.
It's weird. Also, what it does though, Quinn has got like a $7 million cap hit, and what's his face? Besser's got like 5.2, and he's got an option or something like that for like $7 million or arbitration or something like that. I mean, you get Ty Smith, Pavel Zaka, and Damon Severson all for the price of Quinn Hughes.
They're going to want a hell of a lot more. Oh,
money-wise.
Money-wise.
Like you get three players for the price of one.
It's probably going to cost you. It's probably going to cost you the likes of Holtz, who is lighting up the AHL right now. I know.
Don't tell anybody about that. Don't talk about that. We don't talk about the Utica Comets. First rule. All right.
Yeah.
You know
God
what?
bless them,
Scotty. I find it so odd to hear you say that. Throwing. Here we are in late or early 2022, and we were saying, oh, let's throw Ty Smith in as an extra piece to a trade when like 2-3 years ago people were just barking up trees going, why isn't he here? Why isn't he here? Why isn't he playing? It's so odd to see that change from everyone wanted him here, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we can throw him in as an extra player just because his performance this year has been so poor.
Last year,
he still has a lot of potential, and he could, you could say it's the sophomore slump, and maybe he straightens everything out and all that sort of stuff. But we do have a similar player in Riley Walsh as well, who looks like he's ready to make that step forward. That's why you kind of can say that, Ty Smith maybe could be expendable if someone's really into that. If Vancouver's really into that, and that seals the deal for some Quinn Hughes, I'm all about it, baby. Woo! Sign me up.
I don't disagree. I just find it so the change that we've seen. I don't know if 2 years ago we would have said we're ready to we want to trade him. I think 2 years ago we thought he was going to be the next coming. of like a
Sam,
Scott
well,
Niedermayer.
I know
Dude, last year, you guys were both saying on a no-touch list, unless his name is Nico or Ty or Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Ty's not on that list anymore.
It's interesting. It's just, and you know, I just find it interesting.
Well,
anyway,
as Sam Wu can attest,
it's all performance, man.
I think Devils fans have seen enough giveaways behind the net from Ty Smith this year to be like, yeah, sure, you're interested in Ty? Yeah, okay, cool. I hear he makes a good mean steak. Jack Hughes loves his cooking. So if you got a superstar and he likes a good steak, you know, get Ty in there. I don't know. He's just having a really bad year, but he's just making some really boneheaded plays that you're like, what are you doing, man? Like, too many giveaways behind the net. It's just, you can't have it. You just can't have it.
And he can't. There are times where you look and it's like he can't even pass, and you're like, why can't you make a simple pass?
Yeah,
it's for a player that was so highly touted, you know, for a player that everyone was looking so forward to. All of a sudden, it's like he left his brain behind from last season. It's like, who is this player? It's just
COVID.
It's
that COVID brain. He's in that COVID fog.
I think it's when he shaved the stash. He had that stash going there for a while,
He did.
And he gave him a little bit of a flair.
Yeah, power and the skills.
He wiped the dirt from the.
You know what that means? So you know what that means? He needs to regrow the stash, but go all out with a Landy McDonald stash. A Landy McDonald stash.
He needs to get that stash back, I think. So I mean, like, and Ty is still young, so that's why I think he would be a very enticing commodity to be included in. Now, listen, I'm just being fun here with the whole Quinn Hughes stuff. I'm sure I'm getting slaughtered on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live. Thank you, everyone. Have fun away. I'm just joking around, but who wouldn't sign up for something like that?
Oh, I'd sign up for it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know it'll never happen, but hey, we never thought Taylor Hall for Adam Larson would happen as well. So
yeah.
swing for the fences, Fitzy.
One of the biggest trades that gets overshadowed.
Vancouver is missing some draft picks in their next year, which I know we have.
They're missing the second and third round for this year in 2022, and they only have $4 million in cap, just under $5 million in cap space.
Yep. But if you take away Besser and Quinn,
I'm sorry. Sorry, their cap space is zero.
Oh,
I'm looking at the wrong number. Yeah, they are backed up to a wall. So yeah, it could, we could potentially be able to close Vancouver with salary.
Yeah. Are they really?
Now there's also other players that they can trade as well. I know
JT Miller's.
Yeah,
he comes up a lot.
But you don't know what Vancouver is trying to do. You never know what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
they're gonna break it all down. They could probably, for Quinn, they could definitely get some stuff out of us. I'm sure get that deal done. But I mean, they are missing some draft picks, which we have, which we could afford. That helps them out money wise. They get 3 players for the price of 1. I know the points value doesn't equate, but when you do look at it, Damon Severson does put up points as a defenseman. Not as much as Quinn, but you throw Ty Smith in there as well, who has the potential to be a puck-moving offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
Maybe it offsets. You throw in a draft pick or 2. I don't know. I'm not a GM. Anyway, I'm sure everyone is slaughtering me, like I said, on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and YouTube Live. So I want to hear your ridiculous trade, attempts that you wish Fitzy would throw out there to somebody. If anyone's got any good ones, hit us up. Love to hear them. Sam will.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What do you think?
Yeah, if you want.
What do you think Quinn Hughes is? What are his stats right now? I'm looking right at him. I'm just gonna. What do you think? How many assists do you think he has in 47 games played this year?
I don't think he's having an up year, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I really don't know. I haven't been following the Vancouver Canucks as much.
In 47 games played, he has 4 goals. He only has 4 goals. That's pretty on par for any Devils defenseman.
He has
34 assists.
Okay.
38 points in 47 games, and he's a +9.
He's a plus. Well, that's definitely different than a
plus
defenseman. If he's a plus, that's a difference right there.
Yeah, we don't know what a plus is around here.
We don't know what plus players are.
Oh man.
Let me
now,
look up.
I'm looking up Damon Severson.
I'm looking him up too. Yeah, let me see here.
48
Damon
games. 48 games played this year. He has 6 goals, so he's beating him in that category. He's only got 21 assists.
And 21 assists.
So 27 points.
I'm waiting for that plus minus. I'm waiting
And
for that
here
plus
comes
minus.
drum roll,
Oh,
please.
yeah.
Should we take bets on what it is? Should we take bets on what it is?
He's in the 30s.
I'm saying like
No.
a minus like he's got to be like a minus 20.
Close. Minus 16.
Okay.
So not as
No,
bad.
I-
Not
I-
as bad.
Oh,
But wait, career-wise.
oh,
Career-wise. Holy cow. I scrolled down just a little bit, and I'm like, career-wise, he has 46 goals, 165 assists, 211 points in 534 games, and he is a minus. A minus
It's 131.
131.
Yeah.
How many butt
Well,
pucks?
see, that's why you
equate
throw in
to a
Ty
minus
Smith as
131?
well. Okay, see, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
you throw in Ty Smith as well. And the
Yeah.
two
Should we go
draft
to-
picks.
Should we go to Ty Smith's?
Yeah, but you know what though? think of all the stellar teams that he's been on. I mean, we've been
of course,
the Devils
of
have
course.
Yeah.
the Devils have leaked goals. You know, we drafted him in 2012. Since 2012, the Devils have just leaked goals.
Mhm.
Like the Titanic took on water, with the exception of potentially the playoff year, the lone bright spot. But yeah, it's just we have not been we're used to being such a defensive powerhouse, and we're just not anymore. So
Well, I mean, we're
that
building
career,
in the right direction, right? We have some good
I
pieces.
think
we
so
have,
now.
Yeah, we have Siegenthaler, who's shown to be, pretty good on the back end. You got Graves and Hamilton once Hamilton comes back and he's healthy. Ty Smith, I really hope it's a down year. He in 42 games, he has 1 goal, 12 assists for 13
Trade
points,
him.
and he is also a negative 16 on his ledger. But I mean, I know. Listen,
Yeah, but and do you
I
know?
don't know
Did
what
you
he
see who leads
Trying to get
Did
to
you
these
see- I'm
comments
just-
on Facebook.
before I bring it up? Do you see who leads the team this year currently in minus in the plus minus category?
I'm sure it's probably Jesper
you see-
Bratt.
No,
No?
no, it's Mr. Trade Block himself, Pavel Zacha, with a minus 20. He's
Guys, you're
minus
killing us.
20.
And he's
Jeez.
tops on the team.
Yeah, because they've got Ty Smith is minus 16, Jimmy Vesey's minus 16. You've got Tatar's a minus 12, Severson, which we just spoke of, is a minus 16, and Jack Hughes with a minus 13. Those
All
are
right.
all our double
Hey,
digits.
there's a name that you threw in there in that group of people. Jimmy Vesey. Will he
trade
stay
him.
or will he go?
Trade Anyone wants him? Trade him.
Yeah, but I mean, so Jimmy Vesey, I feel like you can get. I don't know what you would get compensation wise. You'd probably get like a fourth round pick, maybe. I don't
See,
know.
here's the thing.
Maybe I'm being generous with that one. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I think the Devils have gone beyond the point where we need to amass draft picks for nothing and just do a fire sale. I think we've built to the point where we should not be giving players away for third, fourth round picks unless
Agreed.
unless the scouting team knows that there's something to be picked there. I think we're beyond that. I think we're in that stage of the Devils improving to the point where we should be going for, either a 1-for-1 or a 2-for-1 trade as far as bringing players in instead of just amassing draft picks. We've been amassing draft picks for the last, 4 years, 3 years, whatever the hell it's been. we need to start bringing in players. If we're going to be shipping players out, we need to be that team at the trade deadline where teams are coming to us and saying, we really want this player. We should be asking for more than just draft picks. We should be getting something credible in return, something that's already established in return.
Now, do you want to establish as in like establish NHL young talent, or would you look into farm systems and say like, you have an up and coming star, we have an established NHLer, we'll give you Damon Severson and his minus 131.
You got this really hot prospect, and we got a third liner. What do you say? What do you say? Huh?
I'll give you Pavel Zacha for who do you got in the minors there? You got the next Matt Barzal?
Plus Jimmy Vesey, okay?
Oh, he's a wonder on that PK, though. He's a wonder. He'll make you think twice before you pass the puck across the middle. That Jimmy Vesey.
Oh, I hope you – can you negotiate all of our deals, please?
Yeah, please. Yeah, in that voice, too, please.
In that voice, too, with a cheap suit.
Oh, my God.
Are you wearing corduroy? Yeah, it breathes.
I want everyone to know when I'm coming down the hall, okay?
I think your thighs are on fire, sir. Your thighs are on fire.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
Anyways.
To answer your question, to answer your question, I want someone that is either NHL proven or just about NHL ready.
Yeah.
Not someone that's like not someone that was drafted last year and has seen a couple shifts in the AHL and is like, this guy's got potential. You know. I want someone that's maybe, you know, the seventh defenseman or the 13th forward or something like that.
But here's the problem with that too. Here's the problem with all that too. Is like
that's something we can discuss later.
Goalie.
It's like we're going to give you.
That's a whole other conversation. It's a whole other conversation we can have.
Yeah, but then the problem about getting these retreaded players is like we'll give you a retread for your retread. It's like we're just exchanging a problem for a problem, and sometimes it can work out. Don't get me wrong. Like a guy needs a change of scenery, and then boom, all of a sudden he starts playing out of his mind. But for the most part, like.
What do you say?
Pavel Zacha, used Pavel Zacha is going to do great things for your franchise. He will be at the dealership selling you a Hyundai before you know it, wearing your team sweater. No, but in reality, if you're trying to tell me that you want to send out Pavel Zacha or Jimmy Vesey or any of these guys, and you want to get in return somebody that's either NHL ready or like a seventh defenseman or something like that. The problem that you run into is you don't want to have a reclamation project on your hands. You don't want a guy that's like, he could have been awesome, but he's stuck in Boston, so he can't do it. And then we're like, oh, we'll take him on. Do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, but if using Zacha as an example, if a team comes to us and say, well, we want Pavel Zacha, then they see something in Pavel Zacha that's going to fit in with their team. So at that point, we can say, well, you have Zacha. We're looking at your team and we think player X or player Y is going to fit in with our team. So let's talk. So if someone is coming to us asking for specific pieces, that gives us that bargaining position where we can say, well, let's take a look at your roster. What do you have? What is expendable? What is not?
What can we take on also? Because
what can we take? That's true.
We have the contract space. That's the thing about Pavel Zacha.
We got the money.
Well, what makes him also, attractive in that sense is that, well, he's a handsome man, of course, but
striking, debonair.
Whoa, what a pose! Whoa,
what a man!
His blue steel, unbelievable. But he can, he is an NHL.
So
That's so hot this year. He is an NHL level. Player. I don't know if he's top 6, but definitely top 9, I would say. And he is affordable. And he's going to be a restricted free agent. That could be very attractive to a team that has a lot of salary cap woes. someone who can go out there and play some important minutes on the penalty kill and, not eat up a huge part of the team's salary cap. That's where I think Vancouver is in some trouble, why we kind of have a little backline in here. But they're, like I said, JT, they can make other deals as well. But
we can
dream,
right?
Right?
Are we going to try to trade Pavel Zacha for Hellebuck? Do you think that'll happen, Scotty?
That'll be my next one if we can. Like
that's your dream. That's your dream.
Any just any goalie, any established young goalie, and he just fits the criteria for that right now on a team where you might be able to pry him off of with a sweet deal. Someone already locked up like that,
Yeah.
Oh wait, now how many more years does he have left? 2 more years?
2 more years. Hey, do you know who leads the AHL in save percentage?
Who?
Just take a guess.
Nico Dawes?
No. Close.
Akira Schmid?
Yeah. He
How
leads
many
the AHL with a 928 save percentage. Hey, irrelevant.
Okay.
Irrelevant.
Okay. All right.
Intervention.
What was the save percentage at the NHL level? That's what we're. That's what we're
like
worried about.
like 0.62. No, yeah, I find it interesting, and people were freaking out about that. And it's like what you just pointed out, the obvious. Well, how many games has he actually played in the AHL? As opposed, and they had that hot start in the beginning, so that also padded the stats a little bit.
Hey, listen, you can never have too much goaltending like that. Like you don't know if they're going to pan out if they're not. But if you acquired someone like Hellebuck, it doesn't mean. You could use one of them as a trade bait, as a little chip as well. One of these prospect goaltenders here. I wouldn't trade both of them, but you could definitely use one of them as trade bait because you never know. We've seen other people come up and just never really pan out the way we think they're going to.
So, all right. So I'm going to throw this at you, and only because I've been thinking about it recently. Because they have zero cap space as well. I think they're at the top of the list of a team with zero cap space, and this would this would open them up a lot, and we could maybe ship a goaltender prospect there. Would you potentially take on Carey Price from Montreal?
Okay, so that's really hard because what does his future hold? Has he said that he's going to come back?
Yeah, I believe he wants to come back. But let's say hypothetically he wants to come back, and Montreal has a clear cap space. They're currently $11 million over because he's on a long time IR. His cap space is a lot. It's 10 a year.
For how many years?
Well, for at least another 4. So it's a huge cap space.
No,
it's a huge cap
too much for one person.
And the age of Carey Price.
Yeah, he's 34. Wait, here we go. No, I was looking at Shea Weber. Yeah, so he's 34. His contract goes to 25-26.
Nope.
No.
Okay, just curious.
If he was,
I've always liked him as a goaltender.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's why
if he was 24. Or 25, then that's a different story.
You know what though? I would say if we only needed a goaltender, then he would be a fantastic piece to pick up. If that's all we needed, and he can come back in the way he was, big time. And I don't know, because we definitely need a goaltender. As much as I want to see Mac Black succeed, we are all, I think, in agreement that it's just not working out right now.
Yeah, and another thing about Mac Black. Another thing about Mac Black is, where is he? Is he in witness protection? I know it was he hurt his heel. The Devils are really good at doing this. They're like, oh, something happened, and meanwhile you hear muffled screams coming out from a closet and a bodyguard standing outside the door. You're like, oh, okay. It's
nothing to see
very
here.
Strange. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. From Naked Gun. But I don't know, man.
Mr. Muse from South Park when Mickey Mouse shows up with the Jonas Brothers.
Exactly. But I mean,
what's all this about not wanting to wear the knee rings.
But I mean, like it's very interesting to see what's going to go on with Mac Black in the next, in the next year. If he comes back at all this year, if he's playing, like you had high hopes, but I think you're right. The ship has sailed on that one. And I think it's almost time that, I don't know if you want to cut bait with him, but if you can get a proven number one, which is going to be, that's a diamond in a rough. You got to either pry it away from somebody's cold, dead hands, or hope that somebody falls into your lap free agency wise, and they agree to come here. And the free agency, there is a couple goaltenders, I can't talk, goaltenders that are potentially a good fit. Jack Campbell being number one. What the hell is his name? There's another one besides Campbell.
Campbell up in Toronto.
The Campbell in Toronto, but there's another goaltender that I was reading about the other day. Why can't I remember his name? And no, it's not Cristobal Huet. Whoever just said that in my head. Hold on. I gotta look this up. Let me look it up.
Maybe Tampa will just swap Mac Black for Vasilevsky. One for one.
1 for 1. They're like, we already won enough, and he doesn't like the warm weather anymore, so you could have him. Who do you want to give us?
No, I mean, I would love a goaltender. That's where I think we really need.
Yeah.
And those winger, I mean, that's when the Brock Besser rumors really did intrigue me, because that is a player who has also struggled a little bit, but he does. I think he would fit in perfectly with either Jack or Nico. It's exactly what they need. And then you allow Holtz more time to develop if he needs it. What's that?
What goalies are UFAs this year?
No, I'll tell you in 1 second.
Campbell, right? I think he was kind of the head of the class. I think there's some older.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Okay, here we go. Update.
Right.
Hold on, I'm going as fast as my phone can get me. I said update, damn you. Marc-Andre Fleury.
He's not coming
here. He's not coming here. He said it before he went to Chicago. He didn't want to go to New Jersey. Mikko God, you're asking the guy that can't pronounce names. Koskinen, or whatever the hell his name, the Edmonton goalie.
Okay.
Darcy Kemper, Thomas Greiss, Halak, Carpasalo. I'm not going to say that name, Corey Schneider. Jack Campbell, Casey DeSmith. Very funny, Sam. I actually almost said that. Where is it? There was a name in particular that I saw that I was like, oh, that guy is pretty good. Hey, Louis Domingue. You guys want to bring back Louis Domingue?
Yeah.
Andrew
Louis
Hammond,
Domingue.
the Hamburglar. Remember, he was hot for a minute.
He got a shutout too recently.
He did.
It's not a big exciting class on the free agent goalies out there.
I think Jack Campbell's like the most exciting. There's where the hell?
Jack Campbell, Corpusalo interests me as well. I think Corpusalo could do well. I'm trying to find his stats. Yeah, Campbell. That's the thing. It's like we would have there's no way a team is gonna be like, oh sure. There's no way. There's no way teams gonna be like, yeah, I know, which would be great. But what are the Jets gonna be like? Here, take our starting goaltender. We don't need him. You can use him.
Well, we gotta lose him.
I got hit in the head with a hammer. Do you want to take our goalie?
All right, I'll stay focused on the Brock Besser. That's maybe a little bit more realistic.
Let's see.
All right.
That's my team. Here we go.
Throw in Severson, throw in Smith. Hell, throw in Jesper Boquist if you want to. He's been playing well. There you go. See if you can sell that. Second round pick. Give us Quinn Hughes. Done and done. Thank you, Vancouver. Good night.
That would be great. That would be great.
Yeah, but Darcy Kemper might be a good Darcy Kemper might be a good
cool.
option.
Mm-hmm.
And he's making 4.5 right now. He's on an expiring deal. He's going to be a UFA at the end of the year.
I've always been a fan of
playing for
Halak.
Colorado.
If you want like a 1-year deal, I've always been a fan of Halak.
Halak would be good. I would take Halak
for like a 1-year deal. But with our track record lately,
he'll retire.
Well, that's the thing.
He'll retire,
or
he'll wear a corduroy
That's
suit. His legs will catch on fire, and he'll be done.
Whoever has recently been scouting these goaltenders and trying to bring them in, stop, because you've not done well in doing this. Whoever's making these most recent goaltender signings needs to not do that this season or this offseason because it's just not worked out.
Darcy Kemper is 31. That's a little scary. I don't want
a little bit.
Let's go to Corpusalo. How old is Corpusalo? I think he's been
I can't do math. A little bit. I'm trying to do math real quick.
I'm trying to look it up, but my phone is working as fast as Scotty's internet.
He's 28.
28
this year. Drafted in 2012.
See, same year as old Pavel Zaki.
Let's see.
Hey, you know what? Looking at some of the free agent forwards, Johnny Gaudreau, but he grew up a Flyer fan, so don't be shocked if he goes to Philadelphia. He's from New Jersey. Don't be shocked if Johnny Hockey ends up being in Philadelphia. By the way, speaking of Philadelphia, Claude Giroux is apparently on the outs and outs and wants to get out of town, and I don't blame him. So there was a rumor that the Devils were in on Claude Giroux. Let me just put that to bed. Never going to happen. Never going to happen.
No.
I think he requested either Colorado surprise or St. Louis surprise. And that's pretty much it. And he's like kind of holding the Flyers to that. He's not going to come to the Devils via trade. There's no way. I think he has a no trade clause. I love this time of year. Always, this is what happens. You always get the crazies that come out of the woodwork and talk about like Claude Giroux's going to be a Devil along with Hellebuck. That Hellebuck's going to be a Devil too, and we're going to get him for nothing. But like,
why would Giroux come from a disaster to a disaster?
Because he could play with Jack.
Because he wants See, that sense goes out the window with this stuff. A rumor like that makes absolutely no sense. So you're going to go from a Philly dumpster fire to a Jersey dumpster fire? It's like, come on, like
you don't have to take your kids out of school. I don't know. Like, listen. I miss the days of like when we were in the mix and you would be like, oh my God, listen, Claude Giroux. It sounds crazy, but he could fit. You know what I mean? And it would almost make sense. Yeah, you would be like, you know what? You're kind of right on that. And we don't have anything to give anybody because we've stripped our farm system. But we could think of something. You know, we could try to give them a 4th round pick, and they'll say no. No, the Lou days.
Just a quick observation here. The whole reason why I came up with the whole Connor Hellebuck thing, I forgot, is because they have no cap space either. And they only have two.
That's their number one goalie. Who's their backup goalie?
They only have two. Eric Comrie. They only have two expiring contracts as well. So, and they have a ton of restricted free agents that they have to. They're going to have to make moves. I think that's where my whole Connor Hellebuck thing like came out of it, because he's got a 6.25 per year.
I'm trying to find now.
But unless they were like, hey, you know, we can, you would be able to get the farm and then all the animals on it too. Do you know what I mean? Like they would get a king's ransom for Hellebuck. I don't think anybody in their right mind would give up that much. That would be almost like, you know, they'd probably be like, we'll start with your next 4 first-round picks. And
they're also very shy in the old draft.
Well, there you go. I mean,
They don't
Still
have
gotta
a
do that.
second, third, or
A
fourth.
third or fourth.
Yeah, and they're
Okay,
missing a second in 2023, which is a really deep draft. I'm just saying that's where that was whole genesis of my little Connor Hellebuck thing is the fact that they have cap space problems. They only have 2 expiring contracts that are really, who is it? I can't remember. So they're both like around $3 million. I can't remember who the UFAs are for them.
So
Paul Stastny and yeah, okay. So
as wild as it would sound, I think it would be their willingness to maybe pull that kind of trade off would be if they were, because right now they're only what's 7 points out of a playoff spot, out of the wild card spot. So they would have to be toast in the playoffs if they were even going to think of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to be
this team
there.
is getting pretty, Blake Wheeler, Shifley,
Long in the tooth. Guys that
Paul
have been around for a
Stastny.
while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see. But that's just where I was. That's where I was thinking of it. In that sense.
I mean, teasing it out a little bit, make more. It doesn't sound as far fetched as I originally thought, but I still think it's a little bit far-fetched.
It's
Sounds
not
a little
as
less
stupid
crazy.
as I originally thought it was.
But it's still pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't eat a lot of paint chips as a kid. You just ate some as a kid.
You ate enough.
You ate enough.
Yeah.
So I it goes without saying that there's going to be guys that are going to be safe on a team. But then I have a couple fringe guys that we haven't discussed. Oh, our favorite wide receiver from the Houston Texans, Mr. Andre Johnson. I mean, he could be. He could be.
Craig, I just want to say, Craig Best agrees with me to go with the old for Quinn. He says Zaka, Severson, and Boquist for Quinn.
You're not going to get Zaka, Severson, and Smith.
And Boquist.
And Boquist.
Zaka, Severson, and Boquist for Quinn. And that, what? That's a fair trade for money in a money sense. All 3 of those guys equal Quinn Hughes value money wise.
So what about you throw Bozer in that, and then you throw Ty Smith into that, and then you throw in maybe a couple draft picks, and then maybe you got a deal.
I don't think you even need to throw in a couple draft picks. Maybe one, and that's it, dude. You're getting them out of like a ton of cap problems.
Yeah.
But again, these don't all have to be deadline day trades, though.
No.
Maybe you can start a conversation around deadline day, but when free agency opens or when you have to deal with RFAs this summer, that's when we can pull these deals off. So it's, these are the types of deals we won't see until summertime, early summer, maybe late summer, depending on things. Here we are on the list. I was curious. So, wow. See, looking at this year, we have 3 fourth-round picks. It looks like.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at this correctly. We can move one of them.
We can add that. If they want to do 2 picks, we can add that in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
it's
a second. Obviously, I think it's a win-win, but I mean, Vancouver does get a lot. They get more people out on the ice for that because they're strapped for cash.
Yeah, they are. And who the hell knows if we will get a couple picks around deadline day. We as much as I don't want it, we may be able to bring some pieces in, some picks in, and then we can use those picks for right before free agency to wrestle some of these players, like a Hellebuck, like a Quinn Hughes, from the teams that are absolutely strapped for cash completely. Jeez, it's like I love the. I love how the Lightning, though, have started the trend of going well over the cap because a player is injured until the playoffs.
They're pretty good at that.
They are very good at that. The Vegas Golden Knights are now taking the lead in that. Man. Injured reserve. Yeah, Zach Whitecloud goes out. And let's see, long-term here, Mark Stone goes out. And all of a sudden, Jack Eichel can play. Good for them.
Oh,
as soon as
good
playoffs
for
start,
them.
And as soon as playoffs start, you know who's going to be healthy? Mark Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will be healthy for playoffs.
The old switcheroo.
Meanwhile, we're watching playoffs from home.
Yeah, as usual.
As the usual. Hopefully
It's
that
the
changes.
way it's been,
that changes
unfortunately.
next season. I know.
Don't ask Sam Wu.
You know
He
what,
says
though?
2025.
I know. Sam Wu has a longer outlook. Actually, speaking of a team that has no cap space in the Vegas Golden Knights, they're also missing some draft picks as well. They only have a second round, and then 2 in round 5, round 6, and round 7. So they do not have any first, third, or fourth round picks. So it could be another team that we can go shopping at the overdrawn window as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
they will definitely have to make some moves at some point.
Oh, yes, they will.
The Devils are allowed to win the lottery still, yeah? Yeah, because they set that new rule the year after we won for Jack.
I think yes.
I'm like 98% sure about that. So blah blah blah. Here comes another crummy season, but at least we're eligible for the lottery, I suppose.
I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I'd rather not be eligible for the lottery.
Oh, I just did a sim draft, or I just did a sim lottery, and look at that. Number one. We win
Number one?
Number one. Numero uno.
At the moment, we have 9.7 odds, so... Huh?
Of being the worst?
No, 9.7. I was trying to figure out how many draft picks, how many do we have in the second, because we only have one in the first, which could change, because you might get a desperate team that's like on that fringe that's like, yeah, we'll give you a first. Like a Toronto Maple Leafs, but I don't know if they have a first. Yeah, they do have. They have
that's
a first
another team that's in some salary cap woes as well.
They are. And we were talking about teams. Let's see, where are they?
There's some scenarios, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Some scenarios.
Yeah, they Toronto does not have a third or fourth. They are currently they have a cap space of I would be happy with this type of salary. However, no NHL player would be happy with a salary of about $146,000. That salary would make me happy, but you're not going to get an NHL player for that. And then they do have. See, here's the thing: like they've got Campbell and Mrazek as their goaltenders. Not that I don't know what we're going to do there, but you could be able to wrestle someone. Yeah. Campbell is a free agent at the end of the season. So who knows? Maybe it could be a sign and trade. They sign him to a deal. We trade for him. Could be. Well, I mean, these are all possibilities for us. But eventually we'll be talking about gearing up for who we're going to buy instead. That would be great. I'm looking forward to that day.
Someday
we're not having this.
Someday.
Over the rainbow, the devils will be good.
Maybe next year we'll be in a position of who should we buy? Who do we need to buy in order to solidify
who can we
this
bring
playoff?
in?
That would be nice. Nice.
Not who goes, who comes in. According to Sam, it's not for a couple years, so we've got some time.
Yeah.
Thanks
for ruining everything, Sam.
Seriously, Sam.
With your 2025.
Here he is, Mr. 2025.
This is 2025.
Sammy, Sammy, this is all of this that we're dealing with is because you like to trash talk players in their prime. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
This is payback for doing that.
Like Corey Schneider?
Yes, like Corey Schneider.
Corey Schneider and Jack Hughes. What do you know?
I made
You're
it
probably just
perfectly
upset.
clear on that episode of Devils After Dark that I did not feel any way the same as Sam Wu did, Jack. I hope you were listening then and know that I love you. Okay? All right? I love you. Sam Wu, not so much.
Sam.
But me,
Sam's
yes.
still
Okay?
bitter. Still mad. Angry Sam, tearing down the whole unit. Rah. He's mean and angry.
I don't know why you're blaming me. I'm just like the weather guy that's predicting snow. You know, it's going to come in about 2 or 3 days, and everyone blames the weather guy, but he has nothing to do with it. I was just
You get
merely
zero-
pointing out
You
an
get between
observation.
0 and 60 inches.
Yep.
Just merely
There's
Just observing.
there's a
Well,
joke
I'm
in there,
gonna,
but I'll leave it alone.
I'm gonna merely observe the obvious that Jack Hughes, I did not say anything about you in the negative. That was all Sam Wu. Once again, just want to clarify that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's so negative about calling him Mr. Turnover? All I asked, if
Like apple
Well,
turnover.
when I
here's the
put
negative.
out that
All right,
Berry
blog,
turnover?
Hold on. Yeah, seriously. The negative is you didn't specify which one. An apple, a cherry, an orange. You have to specify which turnover you're speaking of.
Yeah, blueberry.
Oh,
What do you
apple.
got?
Apple's
Apple's good.
Apple, I think apple's where
Apple.
it's at.
You gotta
Yeah.
have an apple.
Yeah.
the problem is people only read
Uh-oh, here we go.
headlines. They don't read the substance. That's the problem. I didn't trash
Gotcha.
Jack Hughes. I want Jack Hughes to cut his turnovers and be a better two-way player, which could put him in the top 5 in the league one day. That's all.
Nah, that sounds too logical, Sam. Sorry.
No, you know what it sounds like?
Yeah.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the music is queued up in the background, so it sounds like it's time for final thoughts. That's what it sounds like.
Wow. Beer Baron just putting an
That's
end
what it
to
sounds
everything.
like.
He's just like, I'm done
Hey.
with this.
Gotta end
Wow, when did
sometime.
Beer Baron-
Gotta end sometime.
When did Beer Baron? When did you anoint yourself the producer of the show, telling us what to do?
Yeah.
Ugh, you know, I
think
did it
Nikki
when
told, I think Nikki told him you got to get
Yeah.
get the bed.
Nick
Wrap
like,
it
wrap
up
it
in
up,
there.
all right? Wrap it up.
wrap it up. She's like, you guys sound miserable. All you do is complain on Sunday night. And I'm like, yeah. You gotta vent this out. You gotta let this out, because if you don't, it just starts bubbling up, and all of a sudden your heart explodes. That's what happens. No, I don't know, man. Like, you know, the whole trade deadline thing is great, but it's a month away. So we have like how many more shows between then and now?
Well, we'll have some more games and stuff before then, too. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
know if you... I'm excited to see the stuff that Jesper Bratt said about actually playing out this season, playing hard, trying to improve their game. Jesper Bratt, to me, I think his shoulder should be a little bit heavier. Maybe putting an A on there. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
feel like. That
agreed.
guy has been a leader
Agreed.
through and through, on and off the
Take
ice.
it away from Severson already. Take it away from him.
Well, I know it's something that Sam and I have talked
Kidding.
about on the old Devils After Dark, is that, you know, maybe they need someone like a la Scott Stevens and Ken Danico back in the day, where even in practice, you thought you were in a game. Like, Stevens did not let up a lot of times, and he worked you hard in the corners, so you knew how to do it when the game time actually came. Maybe that is what they need, is a little grit of that grind in the practice as well, and someone who's going to lay down the law. If that's Jesper Bratt, then so be it. Kudos to you, Jesper.
Well,
I'm
hey,
all
there's
for
only
it. I'm all
four.
for that.
There's only 4 shows between now and the 4 Sunday shows. I'll put it that way. There's only 4 Sunday shows between now and the trade deadline. It's a lot closer than I thought it was, but it's going to be interesting. If this team gets hot, by the way, it doesn't really matter. Just so people know, the Devils could get red hot and go on like a 10-game win streak, and I still think that wouldn't even put them near
No, they're
a
done.
playoff
It's
spot.
done. But let's see them. I want to see that. Like, we talked about. I would like to see Nico Hischier break 50 points this year. I would like to see Jack Hughes break 50 points this year. You know, I want to see Jesper Bratt is having a career year so far. He's leading the team. I want to see him stay healthy now for the rest of the year. You know, because that's always seemed to have been what happens to Jesper is he gets dinged up, you know, through the season, and he doesn't play a full amount of games. Let's see what happens when he finally plays that full complement of a season and see where these point totals add up. Because we got to start making decisions. Like it says, decision time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sam Wu.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we set it up perfectly for that music to kind of fade in there.
Yeah.
well, I didn't put in my 2 cents here.
Well, none of us did. We didn't do our final thought.
Oh, okay.
We're just pontificating, Sam. Man.
Is Nikki getting mad that we're...
I almost spit water all over the computer. That's what happens. I'm drinking water. I didn't have beer tonight, so I ran out of beer. And
seriously, I like the Brockness monster. I'm intrigued by the rumor that when Frank Saravalli put that out there not too long ago. But this is what I want. The playoffs, you got to go 30-0-1 to even have a chance at making the playoffs. So the playoffs are out. What I want to see is this team come together. I'm done with wins and losses and all that. I want to see toughness. I want to see grit. I want to see Jesper Bratt play from every single player. I'm going to make a statement here, and it should not be misconstrued.
It will be
horrific.
Yeah.
That jaw injury that Dougie Hamilton.
Dougie Hamilton.
It was a pretty bad injury, required surgery, all that kind of stuff. I want to see him back, and I want to see him back tough as nails. Like you talk about Scott Stevens, Ken Danico. You know what we really miss is that grit on this team. I don't know how you guys felt. I thought maybe it was the Devils content team, but when they were saying that he's not coming back yet, he's just waiting for a helmet that fits right. I don't know about that. You're making over $100,000 a game. Get back in there as soon as you can. But it just, I don't know. I want to see toughness. I want to see guys go out 100%. And I want to see that grit come about because this team is starting to come together. It's coming, but it's going to take a little time. But the one thing is that they're too soft and they need goaltending. That's all I have to say.
All right.
And I'm not trashing Dougie Hamilton. I'm just saying that when I read that, I'm like, what the heck is
Misconstrued. Misconstrued. All of a sudden.
I heard.
All of a sudden.
Sam's
still crying. Sam's still upset.
All I heard from Sam and all of his pontification there was trashing Dougie Hamilton. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. Blah, blah, blah. Trashing Dougie Hamilton. Blah, blah, blah. Trashing Dougie Hamilton. Blah, blah, blah. That's all I heard.
What does Sam know? Sam knows nothing. He's bitter because he didn't get the PA job. That's why he's mad at everybody.
Oh, yeah. You see that? They called me salty.
Oh, he's salty, everybody. Sam's so salty because he didn't get the PA announcer job.
I'll weep at the Elton John concert this Friday.
There you go.
Inside joke. Oh, I should hit the music, shouldn't I? Or you guys have any final thoughts?
I think we went through.
My final thought. My final thought is this: just win, baby. For crying out loud, just please win. For God's sake, please.
Can't lose. Can't lose the first couple of days this week if you don't play.
Yay!
Well, I want to thank all those listening. Till next time, let's go Devils.